What's up, everybody? Welcome back to My Twisted Life and TV. I'm Poetry. You are here for another recap and review of Ready to Love. I am going to try to put 2 episodes in one video, but y'all know I talk a lot, so we're going to see how I do. So last week we had the season opener where they had the mixer that Tommy always throws. And this year they're going to try to throw in some surprises for us. Last year the surprise was to bringing back a KB Smooth. This year it looks like they're going to bring in 2 new singles. I'm not sure how far along in the game are they going to bring these singles in, or if they are even new. They may be people who have got eliminated early on in the game and now they're back. So I believe that's what the surprise is. If you know what it is for sure, don't tell me, because I don't like spoilers. I don't watch the sneak peeks at the end. I try not to look at trailers. I want to be surprised every week when I watch the episode. So as usual, they're going to do an elimination this first night. I don't know why every season these people act surprised. The first day? They do it every season. It's not like that's something new. They eliminate you right off the bat, which I agree with my girl Darlinda Tracy TV. They shouldn't. You have not had an opportunity to really get to know somebody. But when this happens, when they kick people off on this first day, or when they tell people that people finna go this first day, everybody turns their game face on. So they're not being their authentic selves. They in game mode at this particular place because they trying to stay around. First we get Carrington. He comes in with Aisha. They seem to click right off the bat. Sabrina and Tyrone, they come in. Tyrone feels they got a lot in common because she's from Korea. He knows a little bit Korean. He thought he had a friend in her, So he tried to speak a little Korean to her, and she's like, I know I was born there, but I don't know none of that. I don't know none of that. She don't speak the language. So she was speaking Walter's language, however. They came in and immediately, connected. They were looking at each other like a snack. Okay, already. She was speaking his language and he was speaking hers. To see it, she already coming in with the mindset that these women ain't no competition for her because she's all that in a bag of tricks. Anytime somebody has to keep saying over and over again how much another woman ain't competition, lets me know, sweetheart, you are in competition. You've been checking them out. You've been sizing them up. They ain't worried about you. If they are, they haven't showed us. They haven't showed us. How many times you got to keep saying it? You trying to manifest something in your own life? Trying to make yourself believe for real that you are the one that's all that? Because it ain't reality yet. What's really going on to see it? What's really up with your self-esteem that you got to keep on bringing up how these other women are so freaking beneath you? Naeem, he come in, he like, I like a more melanated sister, a natural sister. But he draw to Zadia, or Zadia. Is it Zadia or Zadia? I think it was Zadia. Zadia Murphy. And he actually draw to see it. He said he liked looking at a woman's face, but her fat ass was right there for him to see, right there. He likes that. I guess a fat ass outweighs all his other preferences he had. As far as clothes go, baby Carrie, girl, Carrie, she looked like she wasn't prepared for the event at all. At all. So far, no one in this crowd seems like they can't be sociable to me. I didn't notice anybody standing off in the corner, even though at the end when they did the elimination, they said this one person just really didn't connect. And I don't know, from what they showed us, he seemed to be connecting. Corey, he already up to his old stuff, our real ninja of Potomac. Can I say the real ninja warrior of Potomac? That is long. I want to keep saying it about his but the whole time. Real ninja warrior of Potomac. The NWAP warrior of Potomac. The NWAP. Okay, he the NWAP. So Corey, he already trying to pull phone numbers, setting up dates here and there. At first, when he snagged Carrie, she was like, okay, cool. Oh, chocolate, come through, right? But then she got confused. How did we get her? How did we get him to ask him my number and us agreeing to go on a date? A date? What you talking about? We don't even know a thing about each other yet, child. I don't even know your name, okay? But I just agreed to go on a date with you. She was confused how she got there. That's what a manipulator would do to you, honey. That's what a manipulator would do to you. They have you agreeing to shit that you didn't even agree to. And you're like, wait, yeah, that don't make sense. I know it don't make sense. Even though what I just said didn't make sense either. But that's what Corey does. Anywho, it seems like these women this season are more forward. That's the way I'm going to say it. The men seem to be basically letting the woman come to them and chase them, which is what Carrington wanted, remember, right? Carrington, though, is already finding reasons not to talk to the women. Ain't you there to meet women? I think Carrington has in his mind that if he seems a little standoffish or he seems a little guarded, that these women we find him mysterious and intriguing, and because he said he liked the alpha woman. Like I said, Carrington wants to be chased. He wants to be chased. I think with Carrington, because he has this persona of being a manipulator himself, based off of what I've heard from people outside of the show, I don't think that he's found that one person yet he feel like he could take on a ride, and that's what it is, right? Like I said, he said he wants a lady who could lead, and that's not what I'm getting, or that's not what he's getting, because they not fawning over him. They not running up behind him saying, "Oh, how cute he is," and another. Well, Lamont, he said he really liked Aisha because of her accent. I swear to God, I did not hear what he heard. I did not hear her accent. But he tried to woo her with his poetry. Okay, remember I told y'all that poets, male poets, most cases they drop draws, no matter how they look. They usually drop in poetry too. They try to woo these women into thinking that they a poetic god or some stuff like that, right? Aisha didn't fall for that. She's like, I'm out here trying to pull my heart out to you, try to be vulnerable with you, and you trying to spit me some rhymes. First of all, poetry, I hate when people say spitting rhymes when they talk about poetry. We are not rapping. That's not the same thing. But however, it was cornball as hell. She didn't ask for you. Sometimes people hear you a poet or a spoken word artist, they'll be like, hey, well, spit a little something. She didn't do that. She didn't care nothing about that. He just started spitting. Like, she was like, you know what? I had a hard day at work today. This happened. He's like, roses are red, violets are blue. And if you let me spit this poem to you, that's how he was going. I was like, what is wrong with him? She was immediately turned off, y'all. Immediately turned off. Aisha was not the some women who panties drop, like I said in the last video. So, like I said, she felt like she was putting her heart out to him, and he trying to spit bars. Like, check, please. Okay, that's how she was feeling. Now, Camille, baby girl, said that she was the Black Widow, remember? And I said that she was a bald-faced lie. She's already acting possessive. I told y'all, she seems like she's the one who don't want to let go. She acting like she playing. That's the acting part. She acting like she playing. Baby girl is serious. She is serious. Cornelius was up there looking for Courtney, and she was like, I know you're not going to take her no water. I know you're not going to take her no water. And he was like, yeah, she's serious, honey. She's serious. What did I tell y'all? She claims that she gets the men caught all up in her web, but no. She the one to get hooked, honey. Trust me. She's showing improving right now. First impressions of everything. First impressions of everything. Well, Corey, he surely is making an impression by going around to every woman saying the same line, doing his copy and pasting to every woman to get them to agree to this date. And half of them like, I don't even know how I ended up here. How I agreed to that, right? Well, Phil, he was talking with Sabrina, and he came in to swoop Sabrina up like, hey, I'm only going to need 45 seconds of your time. Let me copy and paste this conversation to you. He didn't even pull her away. He did it right there in front of Phil. He was like, you know what? You find me attractive. Not I find you attractive or I find you appealing. I want to know what you think about me. Do you find me attractive? Sabrina say, sweetheart, physical don't really mean that much to me, I need to know you. Get to know who you are. She looks so uncomfortable. Phil couldn't do nothing but laugh. He couldn't do nothing but laugh. Because Corey's a fucking cornball. And what? He's a cornball, y'all. And Libba, I don't know if she had too much to drink, because I felt so uncomfortable for Frank. The whole tattoo conversation had me like, half the time I couldn't even understand the words that were coming out of her mouth. She seemed like she was slurring over her words and she was talking gibberish. And then Aisha was back there in the background laughing. That wasn't helping at all. I was like, what is wrong with Libba? Did she have too much? She owns too much sauce. Did she have something to drink before she came to the mixer? Because she's something right. Something don't seem right with her in this whole night, right? Well, Carrie tried to explain, no, not Carrie, Corey. Corey tried to explain his little hoism once they all figured out that he had been planning dates with at least 75% of these women, right? And like I said, in Corey's mind, all of his flaws are a woman's fault. Everything that goes wrong with him is a woman's fault. And that's basically what he said too. Because he felt like these women are just not accustomed to his style of dating. You know, once the fourth girl came out and said, well, damn, dude, you asked me to go out on a date too. Carrie and the rest of them was like, you know what? I cannot. I cannot with you. Go ahead on. Corey's like, damn, I'm going home. I'm like, please do. Please do, sir. He's like, I'm cold busted. I figured if you could throw me in this situation with a bunch of women, I was going to be in my element. How? You can't even get past the first date. How? Just based on the interactions that they shown, I was thinking Carrie and Libba was going to be in the bottom. And I thought Phil and Corey was going to be in danger. And I was like, I think they're going to keep Corey. I don't want them to get rid of Phil. I'm feeling a vibe from Phil some kind of way. I don't know what it is, but I feel a vibe. But they said that Corey and Lamont was in the bottom. I was surprised to hear that. But you know what? Lamont's conversation was kind of awkward. I was like, because he was trying too hard. He was really trying to impress them. I think his whole conversation all night long was a poem. He probably had this one poem he had in mind. And he was just going to keep saying to these different women. And they was like, who you talking to, right? Girl, listen. If I had to listen to him speak in rhyme one more time, I was going to lose my damn mind. I'm a fucking poet, okay? Y'all hear me talking in rhyme like that all the fucking time to y'all? Woo-wee. Anywho, the two women was definitely Libba and Tasia. I thought it was going to be Carrie for sure, but Libba and Tasia. I was shocked that Tasia's name was called. So was she. She was hella shocked her damn self. But Libba was the one out of the women who got sent home. And she was like, oh, who, me? Yes, you, honey. Girl, go sober up. Go sit down somewhere and sober up, right? Tasia was like, I can't believe these motherfuckers called my doggone name. I got 5 doggone phone numbers. It was almost like she was kind of mad at production. I didn't understand either, because if you had at least 50% of the people, because it's only 10, and you got 5 numbers, at least 50% of the people wanted you to be there, then how did they come up with to see it? I didn't understand either. Okay, but anyway. So one of the best things that happened in this particular night for me would have been the conversation that happened with Sabrina and Walter. They just kind of opened up about how they was taking care of loved ones. She's currently taking care of her mother, and just the stress and the weight of all that. And by him having to take care of his first wife, or his wife he had, who passed away. I think she had cancer, and then to have to take her his mother, who passed away just years after his wife. He understands what she's currently going through, and they kind of like really connected. And she felt like she just really had never been able to be open with somebody like that, and they just vibe. So I see, I think Walter and Sabrina was the couple that Liz thought was a good match, and I see it. Anybody else tonight that I'm thinking a good match? Well, Lamont gone, so he ain't gonna be with Moline. And I say, after watching him maneuver, I was like, I called that one wrong. I kept saying I wanted Zadia for Phil with something. No. Not Zadia and Phil either. I got a vibe from Phil. I just don't know what it is, y'all. I don't know what it is. So that was pretty much the first episode. So we're gonna roll right on into episode now. Episode 3, I think it's called. And All Roads Lead to Love. That's what this one is called. So there was this cell phone controversy between that was put out there by Ida from the last season, the one who didn't even stay on the show long. So it was kind of funny how she was even like this adamant about this conversation. She was saying how Corey NWAP's whole situation was staged with the cell phone because they're not even allowed to have cell phones on set. And I remember talking to Divine from season 2, and she was saying how they wasn't allowed to speak to each other offset or go hang out with each other offset. But it was people out there bumping uglies, honey. It was people out there bumping uglies. People do a lot of stuff. But things change. The seasons have evolved. You know what I'm saying? And as you can see through this whole doggone season, there were a lot of people who had their cell phones, not just Corey. So Ida was upset, and I forgot who else was on that call. She was like, they wouldn't even did that. I think it was Renisha. They wouldn't even did that. That's just a fraud. That's just a setup. Well, we already know, if you watch this show since season 1, that production sets up a lot of these scenes. A lot of the controversy, production sets up. That's like that with any reality TV show. So maybe they felt that by them having their phones with them, that would add another level of drama. Because I want to see their phones ring just from regular phone calls. That's what I want to see their phone ring. You know, the chick who don't realize that you on a dating show, I want them to call in the middle of the set, or the dude. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to see, especially since it's supposed to be 3 people I heard that's already in relationships while this show has been taping. But anyway, it's the next episode, cocktail hour. You know, most of the men are already there, and Sia walks in, and she's very, very materialistic. Just listen to her talk. She's very materialistic. She must not have had nice things growing up. I mean, because she really, I heard flossing my Fabo sunglasses as if anyone really knew what was the brand or even cared about what was the brand of them damn glasses. They looked like any old 3 for $10 glasses off the kiosk in the mall anyway. It wasn't nothing really special about the particular glasses that she had to say. And I'm walking down here in all my pink and my Fabo glasses. So, I mean, shoot, I got my little Marc Jacobs. Okay. Anywho, well, this was her opportunity to ask the man, what was up? What's the tea? You know, how did I end up in the bottom, right? She claimed she had got 5 phone numbers that night. So, what gives? Well, Phil was the only one who spoke up at this particular time and said, hey, I didn't get to know you. I don't know nothing about you. So, that's where my vote came from pretty much. And, so she's like, anybody else? Anybody else got anything to say? Well, Corey was like, well, you know what went down with us. She's like, what the heck are you talking about? You know what happened when you was over there with me. What are you talking about? You know, all the women came up and jumped on me. Look, NWAP. I feel like her. What you want her to do? Defend your honor? Throw some knuckles up and stuff like that? Well, if you did, I would have married you right then. NWAP is very insecure. He is faking the funk for sure. He is not the person that he is putting on to be. He has probably led a life of being bullied. He's probably led a life of having low self-esteem, being the awkwardly social guy. And now that he's made his way on the TV, started his own little business, got a little 6-pack here and there, he's trying to be this person that he's not. He's trying to manifest. Okay, go ahead, manifest on. But you're not there yet, sir. And it shows because you're not being your authentic self. You really aren't, right? Anywho, Phil, like I said, I'm hoping Phil is not a fuckboy because for some reason, I'm inwardly and outwardly rooting for him. I'm hoping he's not a fuckboy. Well, the NWAP, you know, once everybody starts to come in, you know, he's going around making his way around the room again. And Aisha comes through. Aisha comes in, headlights turned on, baby. Headlights turned on, unit still a whole mess. Sis, how your unit got split ends? It just, I don't know if it was the editing, but when she walked in to see it, turned her face up at her. That might have just been the editing. Every woman on this show believes that they are the baddest bitch. That's what I'm getting from each and every last one of these women. Now, I have no problem with you believing in yourself, because if you don't believe you're the baddest bitch, nobody else will. Personally, I don't call myself a bitch, but I think I'm a bad motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? A bad mamma jamma, because I don't fuck mothers either. Anywho, I ain't got no problem with you being confident, you know, and you big your own damn self up. But if you have to constantly compare yourself to the next woman just to big yourself up, then maybe you not the baddest bitch. Maybe you just a bitch, okay? Because that's what I'm getting from Tasia at this point. I don't want to call her one, but that's what I'm getting from her. Like, I can't even front though. Zadia, her hair with that part that started right here, and Momin's hair, they wasn't hidden on nothing either. And like I said, Momin is a stylish chick, but I saw her tracks. And at first I wasn't sure if it was her tracks. I thought maybe it might have been a bobby pin or two until I heard the train go choo choo. I was like, nope, that's tracks right there. Those are tracks right there, baby. Those are tracks. Well, at the end of the week, one of the men are going home. That's what Tommy came in to tell him. How Corey stayed in the first place, I just didn't understand. He literally, I don't know, Lamont had to be such a doggone turnoff that they were able to put that greasy manipulating thing over him as far as eliminating. Maybe it was the looks, because like I said, Lamont was not the most attractive person. Maybe it was the looks, right? Anyway, Tyrone, he already nervous, right? You can see it all over his face. These ladies have a personality that will swallow up somebody that has a personality like him. He's trying to mingle, but I don't think it's reading well with these ladies. Carrington, he's not coming over well with the ladies either. Like, okay, they see him as being calculated. I think I would like somebody who is inquisitive about who I am and ask questions of me. However, I believe that I would prefer for it to flow naturally, right? And it ain't flowing naturally here, especially when he was with Carrie. But then again, I must admit that part of it was on her too, because she was so disinterested. She was like, oh, okay, yeah. When you get that tight lip, that person ain't interested in what you gotta say. Ain't interested at all. You know what I'm saying? She seems like she is bothered just going through the motions with him. So, hey. Anywho, if he like me, he picked that up in her facial expression and her body language. But again, all in all, what I'm sensing with this cast, that the women are hungry. Some of them are hungry for attention. Some of them are hungry to be the boss bitch. Some of them are just, I don't know, just wanting to not fall into the shadows, to me, this feels like the look at me crowd. That's what we got here. Like, I'm that bitch type of crowd. Or I'm running shit, from these women. That's what I'm getting. And the men are just slack-jawed at it all. I can't believe she said that. I can't believe she did that. Like they have never met a foreign woman before. Somebody that spoke their own mind, you know what I'm saying? But what I'm thinking is like, they don't have to pursue. I want to say Sabrina so far, it doesn't seem like the only one who is like thirsty. Okay. I don't know that these women are coming off thirsty as hell to me. Because almost every conversation, they show the men responding in shock to what they saying or doing. And it's like we have no variation of flirtation or methods that they use when they're getting to know somebody. I think, like I said, Sabrina and Walter had the realest conversation in episode 1. Courtney out here trying to hold on to Cornelius's peen. He didn't even know what to do with that information for real. Like, no, that's cool. Like, he's a dud. Camille, she cuckoo as ever, y'all. She cuckoo. Something about that sister just not sitting well with me. She's giving me Denise vibes with a tad bit of Nina. Remember her too? I'm so St. Louis. Yeah, remember her? Yeah, she's giving me those vibes together, right? Like I said, I told y'all she was a bald-faced lie when she said men get attached to her and she dropped them. No, Camille is stalker material. She is straight stalker material, baby. Watch what I say. Watch what I say. And again, all through this episode, they got their phones. So PhoneGate that Ida was bitching about, it's just stupid. Okay. Carrington was out here getting numbers. So it was just some BS, right? But speaking of BS, the NWAP, he goes to sit down and talk to Sabrina. And that's all she can say is this ninja right here. I mean, it's a no. It's a no when it comes to Corey, right? He talking about, I looked at you and said, yeah, I could work with that. And she was like, no, shorty, pump your brakes. When she called him shorty, I'm about to fall out. She's like, no, shorty, pump your brakes, right? Do you know how to have a conversation? And that's what she's trying to do with you. A conversation without expectations. First of all, no, he don't know how to have a conversation. So don't even add expectations on her. You know what I'm saying? You might as well have been talking to a rock. Because he's still trying to figure out how to get her alone. And she like, dude, why are we planning dates and we haven't got to know each other yet? We haven't had a real conversation yet. So she's flat out saying, no, 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 no. And he like, but what? Huh? Why? I mean, like I said, he looking like a deducted dud at this point. She trying to be nice and not to shut you down completely, but you don't seem to have a clue that you coming off inappropriate as hell, right? She is telling you, you coming off as inappropriate as hell, and you still like, huh? What's she talking about? I don't get it. I don't understand. I just want to say, Sabrina, just get up and walk away, sis. Just get up and walk away. He like, don't I make you laugh? And she said, yeah, you make me laugh, but you also make me feel other things that I don't like to feel. Like uncomfortable, like disgusted. That's what she's trying to say, right? She feels utterly disgusted, uncomfortably disgusted by you, Corey. And he just like, she don't like me. I don't know why she don't like me though. He just like, really? You that clueless? Anyway, later that evening, Ween had a flat tire, and Corey came out and changed the tire for her. In the midst of that, he talked to her up on another date. And she says, well, he earned some brownie points for me for helping me out with my tire. I guess all the other men walked on by. Is that what happened? Okay. Anyway, why production wasn't helping her with her damn tire? Ain't shit. Anyway, so she feel, okay, why the hell not? Let me go ahead and go on with him, because he seemed he could be sweet when he want to be. So as she was walking up to meet him, he was taking selfies, and of course he had to get one with her to show people that I'm on another date. I'm on my 11,000th date of the year or whatever. But yeah, he had to post that or it didn't happen. So now we have the double dates. I hate the double dates, y'all. I think they're stupid, especially when you're going on a double date with the other person that you're interested in. I know it's a good way to feel them out as well, but then you giving all your attention to one person. Camille, although she buried under Walter's arm, ain't got nothing but eye rolls for Courtney and Cornelius together. She said that she was an immature person, and she wasn't lying, y'all. She is immature as fuck. Walter, although he's engaging in this conversation, he seems like he's a fifth wheel. He really does, right? And Camille seemed to have her focus across the table. So their conversation went from religion to sex, and all I got out of that convo was Courtney saying, I'm not about to be wifing somebody whose sex is good. What? Courtney, you ain't wifing nobody, right? Unless you're talking about getting with Camille. You ain't wifing nobody. I don't even think she realized the words that was coming out of her mouth, But Camille said she wanted to wait for sex before marriage, or at least have counseling before she go into sex. And that's another thing. This show, for the past 3 seasons at least, we've always got a man with a bunch of kids and a bunch of baby moms. We got one person who's abstaining from sex, we got one person that's super possessive, and then one person that's trying to get with everybody. That has been the norm for the past 3 seasons. But Courtney, she says she likes sex. It's very important to her. It's a part of her intimacy. It's part of bonding. I agree. I wholly agree, right? And so she went to Courtney. He's like, so I can touch you there. And she reached for the growing area, right? And Walter's like, oh, what the hell I come in on? Let me just eat my shrimp because I don't think I'm really with this date, right? I'm going to eat my food and I'm going to get back to work. See y'all later, right? That's how he feeling. But Camille is like, no, you can't put your hand there. And Quinny's like, huh? Walter's like, what? Like, he saw her turn up. Like, I mean, she didn't like turn up, but like, she got real defensive. Like, no, don't put your hands on him like that. And then she always laugh it off like she ain't serious. She's serious, y'all. Cool. I'm telling y'all. Carrington, he goes out with Aisha, and he says that he likes a polished woman. You know, she got blonde hair, she got her nails done, her feet done. That's his stilo. That's what he considered polished. So he basically saying that he don't want a fixer-upper. That's basically what he's saying. And although Aisha's hair is not working for me, she seems to keep herself together, at least in the fashion sense that she finds accentuates her everything. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know why she keep acting like the age of 38 is old. Girl, that ain't old. You know, she keeps saying, I'm 38, but I look good. She done said that 11 times. Girl, 38 ain't old. Okay, I'm 48. I ain't old. Right? So she was telling him, you know, I'm 38, you 33. How it feel to date an older woman? Y'all basically in the same age group, sis. Y'all basically in the same age group, okay? A 5-year age gap ain't major. Unless he was 15 and you was 20, you know, then you ask him questions. But y'all in y'all 30s. That ain't major. Anyway, she had asked him, has he ever cheated before? And if so, is he over that, right? He said, I ain't never cheated because I ain't never been in a relationship. Now, I know, Carrington, with your lying ass, you just sat here and told us during your interview that your last relationship was 6 years ago. That you was in a relationship and what resulted from that relationship, although it failed relationship, was a daughter. And now you're saying you ain't never been in a relationship. So how can you cheat if you ain't never been in a relationship? Carrington, the whole black ass lie too. You know what I'm saying? You know, he wanted them people that would get into a relationship with you, or he'll fall into a situation with you. And it could be 11 years down the road, and then something happened and go bad, and he was like, I wasn't with you anyway. We wasn't together anyhow. Because he never actually put a title to it, or he never asked you to go out with him. He never said, I like you, do you like me, check yes, no, maybe. He never did that. So y'all wasn't in a relationship. Y'all could have been messing with, like the girl that was on the interview with Kamisha. They had lived together, had been living together for 4 doggone years, but they wasn't in a relationship. Anyway, well, Aisha says, you know what? I see a whole lot of red flags. She saw 1, 2, 3 red flags in this whole little conversation. But he liked to talk his way out of a paper bag, so maybe. Why? You sat here and told this man that you went through a decade-long relationship with your ex-husband to the point that you had to put yourself in therapy to heal. You had to put your kids in therapy to heal. And you finna sit here and say that you're going to be willing to still try to talk to this dude after you done called out 3 red flags in this one conversation? Are you serious? You're not going to follow your gut instinct after all that doggone therapy? What is wrong with you, Aisha? Okay, and actually right now I did notice a little accent from her. But it sounded like she was from New York, though. I have never heard anybody from D.C. or Virginia that has that accent. Usually people from Virginia sound a little, like country like I do. Just a little bit. But I never noticed any D.C. natives with that tone either. Anyway, girl, follow your gut. So we go on another group date, y'all. Another one. 3 women. Zadia, Shiloh, and Tasia. And 2 dudes, Naeem and Dante. They got both the hoteps together. Zadia say both the hoteps caught her attention, right? Well, they talk about love languages again. I swear, as black people, we would get a term and just drag it through the mud. Everybody and they god doggone mama, love language, love language, love language. We always want to be about what, just blacker than black. But we taking this one concept that was written by this white man and we just running with it. Love language, love language, love language, love language. Last year was toxic. Everything toxic, this toxic, that toxic. Now it's just love language. Anywho, they talk about love language and they talk about sex and love language and sex and love language and sex. I was bored. I was so bored. Again, a bunch of forward women and a bunch of men acting shocked that they got forward women, but they getting turned on in the process. Like, do any of these men have the ability to have a conversation about sex and intimacy without feeling uncomfortable or without being turned on? Do any of them? Do any of these women have the ability to talk about sex and intimacy without flirting with you? Do any of them? Can y'all just have a real conversation would it turn it into add a little bit something sexual, and then get offended at the person that you ain't really into want to get sexual and touchy and feely with you? Tasia was the only one that was like, you know what, I'm not sharing no freaky tales with y'all. I'm not sharing no freaky tales. In the end, Zadie is still feeling both of the men's energy, right? Tasia, she just like they birds. I don't think Shiloh was really into either of them, even though she did pause her conversation just a tad bit when Naeem touched her skin, because no touch is her love language, you know what I'm saying? But I don't think she was really vibing with any of them. Not for real. Not for real. I think if anybody would have rubbed her arm in that way, she would have had the same reaction, even if it was a woman. That's how I felt. Well, it's the elimination dinner already. That went quick. We didn't get to see Sabrina on her date. Aisha didn't even make it to the little meetup because she had a car accident. And Phil, he was rushing over to her side to be there with her. I was like, I told y'all I'm getting good vibes from Phil. So, first, Tommy wants to know who has sparks. Camille said her and her king, Cornelius. That child don't know what a spark is. He got a spark with Courtney. He ain't really got a spark like that with you. He like you, but not no sparks, baby girl. Sabrina and Walter, they got a spark, right? But the he is for Camille, Tasia, and Carrie. They sparking with Cornelius too. Her face was like, bitch, I'm gonna kill him. Okay. Carrie said, don't kill me. You don't even gotta worry about her. He gotta worry about her, right? She was looking like, how very fucking dare he go out and connect with other women on a dating show. That's how she was looking, right? But Sabrina, Zadia, and Carrie, they also feel Tyrone. I'm surprised. I am surprised. But he decided to nix Carrie. You know, he nixed her out the gate. And he called Shiloh to tell her why he did it. I was like, they must have been friends already before the show started too, okay? He told Carrie, we can't see each other no more because I don't have a connection with you. But he told Shiloh that he don't know how to handle 3 women at one time. That's pretty much what it is. And he didn't know how to do that emotionally. So I was wondering what made him choose Carrie to be the one to get knocked out the box. I'm like, Carrie, tell me, don't tell Shiloh. Basically, girl, I can tell you, he just liked the other 2 more than he liked you. That's all that was. With Shiloh, she feeling on Dante a little bit right now. Zadia, she feeling Naeem, and of course, Mumin says Corey. Everybody's like, pump the brakes. She's like, yeah, I really enjoyed him on our date. Zadia's like, nah, sis, I can't relate. And the fact that I scrunch my face up every time he talks because he makes no sense at all, that's not a good sign. Sabrina's like, I second that. Tasia say, well, Carrington is at my bottom, right? I feel like I'm being interrogated every time I talk to him. He's not coming off authentic. And Courtney said, you know what? I've known him for 5 years now. He cool people. I know he looking for love. Well, Sabrina said the way that she talked to him, and we brought the age thing, the way he gave his response, it was like, I ain't gonna go back and forth with you on this. I was like, ooh. At first, I wasn't believing her fully until later on in this conversation when he had the conversation with Camille, and I was like, no, he said that shit. He said it just like that too. But he had a whole nother vibe when it came to Aisha, so I was like, really? So based on the conversation, Corey and Carrington is in the bottom. I think Corey is going to be the one to go bye-bye, or at least that's what I'm hoping. So Corey goes to meet with Tasia, and he thinks it's a date, to his surprise. He's about to get to the surprise because it ain't no real date. Well, Camille meets with Carrington, who also thinks this is a regular date. I hate the way that Carrington twirls women around when he meet up with them. Like, let me check you out. Yeah, let me check you out, right? After seeing what Camille had to offer, he like, you know what, I think I could do this. Until he realized that it wasn't a date. He's like, so what is this, a therapy session or something? It can be. It could be both, right? She told him what she was receiving for him and how the other women felt. He's like, so we speaking for other people now? He got real defensive. Yes, don't act like you don't know what time it is. This is an elimination date. And of course, he's like, don't put that all on me. That's on them. And their inability to communicate. I can hear him right there saying to Sabrina the words she relayed about the age conversation. I got to sneeze. Corey, he was trying to blink his disappointment away. Like, this can't be happening. I can. If I blink 3 times, it'll go away. Yes, Corey, it's happening again, but keep on blinking because it worked for you. But you borderline pervy, dog. You are basically a sexual harassment case waiting to happen. That's what I sense from you, right? Well, Camille tells Carrington that people feel that he's not genuine. that he's calculating. He's like, well, maybe that's my personality. That's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. But anyway, he's like, well, let's just get past this and move on with our date. Dude, this is an elimination. This is elimination, sir. Camille was at a loss for words. He kept cutting her off every time she tried to speak. His friend Courtney should have delivered this news to him. That's what should have happened. Because he wouldn't let her finish speaking. She finally got to tell him, dude, you ain't ready for love. But hell, he finished her sentence before she did, right? Good thing we don't have to see his monkey ass no more all season. Good thing. Can Corey go too? He got to stay. Next week, the men get to eliminate the women. It's going to be either Cecilia or Carrie that's going to get gone. I feel it. One of them two. I feel it already, and the show ain't even happened yet. Y'all let me know what y'all thought. Thank y'all for being patient. Thank y'all for waiting. This has been My Twisted Life with TV. Is it? I changed my channel name. I forgot what I changed my channel name to. Poetry's Twisted Life and Reviews. I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.